Defeat to Spurs in the end for Liverpool in a game that largely lacks quality for both sides, if we're being completely honest here. It was a polar opposite to the game we saw just 2.5 weeks ago between these sides, a 9-goal thriller. But if for Liverpool, it's just our second defeat in all competitions this season. We've now lost that 24-game unbeaten streak that went on almost 4 months. Of course, Tottenham got the only goal of the game through Bovo. Well, the only one that counted, of course, Solanke's was ruled out correctly for an offside in the build-up. VAR was used for that, and we got our first kind of in-stadium announcement. Could they announce why this was not given as a second yellow card, though? I would love to have heard that, because Costa Shimikas on the counter here is just completely wiped out. It's such an obvious second yellow card. I agree with many that the first yellow card was probably quite harsh for him, but that doesn't mean you kind of try and make up for it by not giving the second. Obviously, you've already made the mistake of giving the first yellow. Well, debatable mistake, right? I think it's harsh, but you know it's a foul on Diaz still. And then this one, he's on a yellow. He's wiped the man out. He's on a counter attack. It's the kind of foul that often players, if they're not on a yellow, would make as like a tactical yellow, as we often call it. But he's on a yellow card. Send him off, and then he doesn't score the winner 2 minutes later. Really disappointing. Obviously, though, there was greater issues for us than just that decision, because more of this kind of sloppiness and just lack of control in our play was popping up in this game. And it's kind of been coming, honestly, a loss like this has been coming, because for the last month or so, we've been dropping a few of these. You know, I think Newcastle, Girona, Fulham, Manchester United, and now this Spurs game as well. It's not what we've come to expect from the early phases of the Arne Slot era. And last month or so, yes, we've had some defensive injuries that have definitely impacted our ability to control games the way we'd like, constantly changing up the back four. But it's not an excuse, and it's an element of the game we obviously need to cut out, and cut out quick. And I mean, I'm filled with confidence by the fact that we haven't really had a proper rut of form this season. Obviously, we bounced back very quickly from that defeat to Forest, our only other defeat this season. And then, you know, there was those draws against Newcastle and Fulham where, again, we bounced back and had a really good festive period. So I do feel these guys will get it together again. On the more positive side, we did still create some good chances this game, and I think that chance creation side of our game hasn't really suffered too much this season, other than perhaps that performance against Forest, which I think was also the only other time we failed to score this season. And, you know, I think we have the highest XG by some distance in the Premier League, for example. We are pretty good at creating these opportunities. It's just, it wouldn't fall for us tonight. Trent has one cleared off the line, as you see pictured here by Dragusin. I think another notable one was the Nunez kind of instinctive back heel, which the keeper manages to keep off the line. And, you know, fair play to him. He deserves a shout out. Making his debut for Tottenham. I've forgotten his name already, but he's a name that could be remembered if he can continue going. I don't know how long Vicario is going to be out for them, but he looked really solid. They made about 6 saves, I believe. So yeah, props to him. I'm still pretty confident we can turn this one around against Tottenham at Anfield in the second leg coming up next month. And in between that, obviously, we have a difficult run of games. Accrington Stanley in the FA Cup should be a nice opportunity to rotate. But then the difficult games against, you know, likes of Forest and Brentford, 2 tricky away ties back-to-back in the Premier League. So opportunities will be there for these lads to bounce back and step up their performances again. And I back them to do it.